My partner becomes upset whenever I type WTF in our messages because it includes a curse word, yet he uses the F word verbally quite frequently. When I inquired if he would cease cursing as well, he accused me of having a poor attitude and instructed me not to reach out for a week. My partner dislikes when I use WTF during texting or online conversations. WTF is an expression I've used since age 13, and truthfully, it's a tough habit to quit, similar to requesting someone to stop typing LOL or LMAO. I understand he dislikes WTF due to the implied profanity, and he's mentioned it comes across as very impolite to him. I'm puzzled why I'm prohibited from using WTF when he frequently says fuck in person. I pointed out that he curses too, and his reply was, so it's my fault. I can somewhat understand how WTF might seem harsh to others, and I've genuinely been making an effort to quit, but today it slipped out because I was startled by something. Can anybody assist me in grasping his viewpoint? Update 1, I spoke with my partner following the event, and this is essentially how it unfolded. Is me, BF is him. Are you still angry with me? BF. No, I don't mind anymore. You don't need to alter yourself for me, but just so you know, I'm not drawn to women who frequently say WTF. A, is it only the abbreviation WTF or the actual F word as well? BF, both. A, okay, understood. Will you quit cursing too? BF, okay, I really dislike your tone. Whenever I raise a concern, you respond with, can you do this too? Saying, okay, understood would have sufficed. Let's not communicate for a bit. Contact me next week. Okay. I intended to discuss matters like why he believes he can curse, but I cannot. But as you can see, I barely got a chance to speak since he's declining to converse until next week. Currently, I don't mind because I have much on my schedule right now and don't wish to handle this until my matters are resolved. But I'm shocked by his conduct. I don't think I showed a negative attitude. I merely asked if he would do the same since he curses too. Am I overlooking something? Did I truly come across as having a bad attitude? Update 2. Hey everyone, wow, I didn't anticipate so many responses to my update, but thank you all. Here's essentially what occurred. Sorry if it turns out lengthy. So it didn't take long for me to decide I'm finished with this person, but I had left some clothing in his vehicle, so I wanted it returned. Unfortunately, he's abroad on a work trip for several weeks, and he parked his car at a buddy's place who lives in my area. Since he specifically said not to contact him for a week, I plan to follow suggestions from here and simply never speak to him again, retrieve my items quietly, and inform him it's ended. I reached out to his friend and asked if I could stop by his home to grab it, ensuring no bother to him. His friend then volunteered to deliver it to my house. About an hour later, I receive a call from my now former partner, thank goodness, who's losing his temper, claiming I'm disturbing his friend and questioning why I'm so eager to retrieve my belongings. At this stage, I believe he's completely unhinged because his friend was the one who suggested dropping it off after I offered twice to pick it up at his convenience. He then goes on about how my clothes are likely worth just $20 and offers $100 in place of returning them. WTF. And I reply that I don't want his tainted money. I call him controlling and deceitful, and he says he's ending things with me, unaware I'd already decided that. He then blocks me, so yes, I'm not retrieving my items. An hour afterward, he phones again and states he doesn't want to ruin connections. He then discusses how I'll achieve success in life, mentions all my positive qualities, and expresses hope that I won't speak negatively about him to mutual acquaintances, as he values his reputation highly. He said he's surprised I labeled him manipulative and controlling, since no one has ever said that to him before, and he doesn't think he is. He added, if I'm manipulative and controlling, why do I have numerous wealthy and accomplished friends? Afterward, he claims I'm immature and he's far more seasoned in relationships because he's been with more women than I've been with men. He's had 6, I've had 4. He continues ranting about our town being small and him being recognized, so he must protect his image, but he called to make me feel better. He mentioned that if I shared the entire story with everyone, they'd all agree with him. I chuckled because I basically did ask the world, meaning Reddit, and almost nobody agreed with him. I considered sending him the link, but he'd blocked me everywhere. He did apologize for being manipulative, controlling, and possessive, which caught me off guard, but it came in a sarcastic tone that lacked sincerity. Still, at least there was some apology. He then explained he'd fully gotten over the WTF matter long ago, but wanted to emphasize how wrong it was to prevent me from repeating it. He said if he hadn't pretended to be upset, I might assume it's acceptable and do it again. This made me feel like he was handling me as if I were a pet needing discipline for certain behaviors. Clearly, the whole call seemed like another effort to manipulate me into staying silent and not spreading any negative word, which I had no intention of doing anyway. So I grew angry and called him delusional, and he labeled me insane before hanging up. Perhaps I could have handled it more calmly and not let frustration take over. But there's only so much I can endure, and I have no regrets. On a positive note, I feel relieved and liberated. I anticipate meeting someone truly suitable for me rather than staying with a person who's harmful. Thank you to everyone who replied and read all the updates. Smile. Next story. Family members always occupy my spot whenever I stand up, so I began carrying my personal portable seat to gatherings, but my brother-in-law damaged it as a prank and declined to reimburse me. So I departed and declared I wouldn't attend any family gatherings. Okay, listen to this. For as far back as I can recall in my family, nearly every time I rose from my seat, somebody would claim it either for amusement or as if it were available. And during my teenage years, it reached the extent that I purchased my own portable chair so I could take it with me. If I left it in place, someone would occupy it, then become upset when I requested it back. As an illustration, during a holiday last year, I stood from my chair briefly to assist with a task and returned to find a child in it. And then relatives scolding me for asking them to vacate. But I explained that when a person owns and provides their own chair, they anticipate using it. I possess a high-quality portable chair that's comfy and simple to transport, and I generally take it to any family occasions because seating is often insufficient. Well, recently I attended a birthday celebration for my nephew, and as usual I brought my own chair, but at one point I needed the restroom. Upon returning, my chair had vanished, and everybody pretended not to know its location. I stated they had 1 minute to bring it back or I'd depart. They chuckled initially, but then saw I meant it as I headed toward the exit. Everyone urged me to relax, saying it was merely a prank. I replied that I don't mind if they view me as overly serious. I wouldn't need to bring my own chair constantly if others didn't persistently interfere with my seating. I don't find it amusing. I never have. My brother-in-law then revealed the chair from its hiding spot, and when I retrieved it, one leg was damaged. I noted it wasn't like that earlier, and how he managed to bend a metal chair. He claimed he could repair it and attempted to straighten it, but worsened the issue. The chair is essentially ruined now since the leg is distorted, and I don't trust sitting on it. I informed my brother-in-law he owes me $50 for the chair, as that's its purchase price from 2 years ago. He became angry and insisted it was just a silly chair. I responded that it was my silly chair, and this wouldn't have occurred if he and others weren't so childish in teasing me for years about seating. Then I grabbed my damaged chair and left. My relatives have been contacting me non-stop, saying it's only a chair and to move on, but I still expect my brother-in-law to compensate me. AITA? Edit. Last night, I sent a group message to the family stating I won't attend any event, regardless of importance, until they correct this by vowing not to interfere with me anymore and reimbursing for the chair. They've mostly stopped responding now, but I can be patient. I have plenty of time for them to see I'm serious. Update 1, I didn't plan to return here. Honestly, I'd forgotten about this account. I only logged back in because I'd noted the password and stored it in my drawer. A few weeks ago, I was watching Reddit narration videos when I unexpectedly heard my original AITA post, so I decided to provide an update. Well, matters intensified significantly after posting because eventually, I shared the link with my parents and other relatives. They were outraged with me initially. Some even teased, saying things like be careful around Op. He might post about it online. But once they read the comments on my post after I showed them, they were embarrassed. My brother-in-law did consent to pay for a replacement chair and provided the amount I requested. I purchased an improved portable chair over the previous one and started attending family gatherings again. However, when I was present, certain relatives had a tense atmosphere. They eyed me as if I'd removed all enjoyment from the gathering. My parents no longer found the seat stealing humorous and even reprimanded a child for occupying my spot when I went to the restroom. The issue was that this child was my nephew, and he began crying when forced to move. My brother-in-law defended the boy, and my nephew revealed that his father had permitted it. By the time I returned from the bathroom, a major argument was underway. Several relatives, including my sister and brother-in-law, were shouting that it was just a chair, and I shouldn't be so sensitive about it. My parents questioned why they were so upset about no longer being permitted to tease me. Like, what was their reason for persisting so long? It didn't make sense and wasn't funny, and that's when I stepped in. I explained that none of this would have occurred if they hadn't been determined to bother me when there was no reason for it. And I only began bringing my own chair because I could never secure a reliable spot. And if they still believed they were correct, then they were simply bullies. And what sort of role model is that for their child? My brother-in-law exploded, seized my new chair, and threw it through the living room large window. There was a moment of silence before he realized his action. Then he sped off in his vehicle, leaving my sister and nephew behind. My parents had my sister phone him, and over the call, they warned of involving authorities if he didn't compensate for the damage. Brother-in-law shouted some curses until my sister reclaimed the phone, and she stated he could either fix things or face divorce. That worked because he returned appearing defeated and ashamed. He apologized to me and my parents without eye contact, promised to cover the new large window, and departed again. My sister mentioned he drank heavily and passed out that night. My new chair was unharmed. It survived being launched through a large window remarkably well, barely a mark on it. My brother-in-law arranged for a window service to replace it. They measured and ordered a custom one before installation. Meanwhile, the opening was boarded with plywood. It required time, but they installed the new large window, and it's superior to the previous, though likely costlier due to being a large style. The family remained split on the matter for some time. Mostly brother-in-law's parents, my uncle, and a few cousins. They faulted me and called me difficult for insisting on my own chair and not sharing, so I offered a compromise. I said if I have a reserved spot that no one will claim, I'll keep my chair in the vehicle. It required 2 additional family cookouts before they accepted. Since then, I've stored the chair in my car unless seating was truly short. And that's only occurred once. The issue is, even though they ceased bothering me, they continued interfering with each other's spots until it escalated. They enjoy claiming others' seats, but apparently others adopted my stance and insisted it end. It's persisted for decades, and they've grown tired. Brother-in-law avoided the conflict completely and hasn't caused further issues, but for multiple gatherings, several people skipped. My mother was upset because she enjoys organizing events. It took months, but things mostly returned to normal. But without the seat games, some turned to other foolish antics, like a gadget attached to a chair that produces fart noises. They avoided my seat but targeted a cousin, and that cousin retaliated pettily at the next event by consuming fiber bars and eggs, resulting in genuine foul odors. Other antics involved concealing utensils, a stench device, placing a scary item in the toilet, plastic wrap on doorways, tearing paper sounds when someone bends, tampering with beverages, hiding footwear, mimicking clothing, dumping foam peanuts from above a door, and ultimately the one that enraged my aunt and uncle at their hosted event. A glitter explosion. They had the rug cleaned professionally and charged the culprit. So now antics are finished. They want no more, I'm okay with that. But recent family gatherings have felt somewhat boring. I believe they were accustomed to the chaos that now they're seeking alternative entertainment without phones. Edit. The chair is a national public seating metal portable chair. I ordered it online for about $80. It features thick padded vinyl on the seat, and it's quite comfortable. Update 2, somehow I'm back again, with some wild details on events over the past year. If you thought my brother-in-law launching my chair through a large window because his son couldn't occupy it was insane, just hear about all this. You won't believe it. First, my nice padded portable chair costing over $80 was taken. No clue by whom, as it wasn't at a family gathering but while at a friend's place. Someone entered the yard and stole it. I learned my lesson and chose not to buy a pricey portable chair again. Now I store an inexpensive one from a thrift shop for $3 in my trunk. On to other matters. The family antics from my prior post appeared to cease but gradually restarted, though only mild ones for light laughs. The sole person they avoided targeting was me, owing to past incidents. But that didn't halt bad behavior. The 7-year-old child of one cousin took my phone at a family birthday at my parents' home and deliberately damaged it instead of giving it back. His parents were already struggling. My cousin, the dad, often argued with his wife about disciplining their kid. His now former wife overly indulged their son. She's also poor with finances, has a demanding personality, and refuses to admit fault. She was among those who strongly opposed me bringing and not sharing my own chair. But she never became violent. She once challenged me, saying if I bring my own, it should be a proper non-folding one. I replied I wasn't hauling a heavy dining chair when a portable one fits easily in the trunk. She debated further but achieved nothing. No events at her home, and she doesn't control me. She glared intensely for months but otherwise ignored me. The evening her son took my phone, he'd been banned from devices by his father. The child grabbed it when I placed it on a table for cake and fled when unnoticed. He barricaded in the main bedroom closet, attempting to download games. That closet door locked, key missing long ago. The child ignored demands to exit or return it. His mother repeatedly said to leave him be and allow gaming on it. But I declined, stating my phone isn't his plaything. The child was ordered multiple times to open up, refusing. Meanwhile, his mother opposed every instruction. My cousin grew frustrated and began prying the old door. It's an older home, door weak. As progress was made, loud thuds came from within. The child started slamming my phone against surfaces. The child yelled as Dad extracted him. My phone screen was heavily cracked. Luckily, the case protected the rest. Cousin's wife attempted blaming me, saying it was my fault her child damaged it for not allowing play. Everyone present confronted her, and she quieted in fear. Repair cost about $300, and I used a spare until fixed. Yes, my cousin covered it. Well, relatives knew of cousin's wife's hatred for portable chairs like mine, and they chose to prank her for her behavior post-phone incident. To clarify, I wasn't part of it nor approved, but it was beyond my control. Cousins collaborated, acquired many portable chairs, then cleared all seating in the home and substituted with them. Portable chairs at the table, counter, living areas, porch, all replaced. When cousin's wife arrived home, her response exceeded expectations. The intent was filming her outburst for amusement, but she lost control immediately, sought a kitchen knife to threaten her husband. Failing that, she used purse pepper spray on all present, then assaulted her husband with sharp acrylic nails, likely aiming for severe harm. But one man intervened by pushing her away. I couldn't believe this occurred over portable chairs, and I feel partially responsible as root since I'm the one who started carrying mine due to insufficient seats and constant stealing. It grew way beyond me. Authorities were summoned, wife arrested, all men needed hospital for eye irritation from spray, and my cousin required treatment for facial scratches. He appeared mauled by a wild animal. He sought immediate protection order against wife. They had video of her knife attempt and threats to harm. She stayed with her sister after jail time, reportedly equally self-centered. My cousin pursued divorce. Wife later jailed more after guilty plea for assault. She couldn't approach her son initially, attempted blaming cousin in proceedings. That backfired due to proof of instability. My cousin gained main custody, ex-limited to supervised visits due to mental issues. She's largely forsaken her son, now with an older wealthy man, heavily tanned and blonde. Seems prefers luxury lifestyle with heavy cosmetics. Cousin's son has improved greatly away from mother. He received therapy, obeys father better. Needs frequent babysitting due to work, but overall improved. I still sense guilt as initial cause from the chair issue. Edit 1. Additional detail I forgot. Cousin's ex-wife adored lavish items beyond means. She decorated home with faux antique furniture she obsessed over. Likely why she reacted extremely to replacement with portable chairs. Cousin discarded all upon divorce. He said it was unattractive in function despite appearance. Edit 2. I foolishly had no lock on that phone initially, so child accessed easily. Added password after repair, and child lost device privileges for a month.